Welcome to the Yacht Club Show. Pull up a chair, grab your favorite drink, and join us at our usual table. Imagine three friends at your favorite watering hole, having discussions about current events, stories, ideas that shape our worldview, trying to make some sense of it all. That's us. We're not experts and certainly hold no promises that we will solve anything. What we can offer is honest conversation with a few laughs and whatever wisdom we can impart along the way. So settle in. The bar is open and the conversation's about to begin. Let's toast the Yacht Club Show. Sláinte. All right. Welcome back, listeners. It's been a long time.
Welcome back, listeners. How about welcome back to the three of us, to each other?
I know.
We haven't seen each other in a while.
Yeah.
Your hair's gotten more gray, Killer.
It has, but you guys look good. You guys haven't changed.
Have you lost weight?
I cut my hair. So I think it's appropriate for us to reintroduce ourselves to our listeners. We're the Yacht Club Show. We're a trio of incredibly handsome senior citizens with Catholic upbringing.
Conservative
Tend
Yeah,
to be
although we
conservative,
do
yeah.
try to be objective.
Fair and balanced.
Especially Dr. Jim. We can always count on Dr. Jim to bring balance. So this is Mike. I guess I'm kind of the de facto host of the show. And I'm joined by
Rev Dave.
Rev Dave, who's a very common sense, practical look at the world.
Thank you, Killer.
So,
I don't know if my wife would agree with that, but I appreciate that.
And then we're joined by probably the smartest man in the world.
Oh, just ask him.
Yeah.
Stop.
The illustrious Dr. Jim.
You're too much.
Who
Can we confine it to the Western Hemisphere?
who really prods us into more intellectual, deeper waters. So we really appreciate that.
Killer, you and I are kind of surface guys.
We're window dressing.
Yeah.
It's Jim's really
Jim
kind
gets
of
into things.
Yeah. So it's great to be back. It's great to see you guys. I love getting together, doing this. Oh, and we've hired a consultant, ChatGPT, free consultant, but we
best
hired a
kind.
consultant.
Yeah, that's all we're about is free stuff.
That's true.
But yeah, our advertising budget is limited.
Yeah. We
As is our ad revenue.
We have a tight
Since
budget.
the jerky people.
Yeah, when they left us, we're
Real
done.
and Smoke, they
Real
left us high and dry.
Yeah,
they did.
They're done.
I loved cashing their checks, and then when that dried up, it got a little dicey there for us. But we're still here. We're survivors.
Yeah, that's right.
We're survivors. But anyway, I started a discussion, for lack of a better word, with ChatGPT about the show and forwarded them one of our latest podcasts to get some commentary from them. And we're going to try to adhere to some of their advice. I think in general, we got very positive feedback. And
Chat loved us.
Chat thinks that we got a nice thing going, like three guys, a bar conversation, shooting the breeze, interesting conversations. We're not trying to solve the world's problems. We're just, like I think I said, but then ChatGPT came right back. We're just trying to make sense of this crazy world.
Yep.
So it was really cool feedback, and we're going to have some new intros and bumpers because of our tight budget. I couldn't hire George Clooney.
You knuckleheads can't afford me.
But I did find some wink, low-cost voice actors for our intro and our bumpers and our outros. So we're going to give that a shot.
Could we get the Three Stooges? Maybe that'd be our.
If Curly was still around, he would have been the first guy. Knock, knock, knock. So welcome back, guys. It's great to see you again. Any words of wisdom or updates before we start our first topic?
Well, a lot has happened. I mean, I don't think we ever met while anything that's going on in the world today was even occurring.
Very true. It's a different world than we last recorded.
And that world moves fast now.
It's funny. The Ukraine war has been kind of out of the headlines.
Ukraine
it's
and
crazy.
Gaza. Gaza is, who knows what's happening in Gaza now.
I know.
That's gone away.
And now they're telling us Ukraine is winning.
Is that what we're hearing now?
Yes.
Yeah. Because of drones?
Yeah.
I think it's the drones, and it's also Putin is running out of bodies.
Well,
And-
I remember early discussions, people telling me they're a paper tiger. Russia's a paper tiger. Just have to wait it out. And I get that, but how many loss of lives in the meantime?
Oh man,
you
what
know?
are you hearing? I think it's between death and injuries. It's like 40,000 a month or not. It's just some stupid number. That
so
they're,
it's like, okay,
so he's
yeah,
got to run out of people.
we can
at
wait
some
it
point.
out, but boy, at what cost? I don't know what the alternative would be other than Europe stepping up and maybe the U.S. stepping up some more, but I don't know. It's a complicated world we live in.
Yeah, we'll be living with that show for. Everybody likes to believe Russia's going to fold, but he's a dictator. He can go on as long as he wants to.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
Where I think he may have problems is with the oligarchs who are getting hammered in this. They're kind of losing their standing in Russia, and I think that could take him out. at some
I've
point.
seen a few oligarchs who
Are
have
you?
stood up to Putin
Well, you're
and
right.
where they are today.
So you think it could be
You don't want to be on a sixth-floor hotel window, is what you're saying.
so it could be an internal thing that gets
Yeah,
Putin
I
out of
think
the
very
way.
very
Yeah.
well it
Yeah.
could be. But like Jim says, he's a dictator, and if you believe what they're saying, he moves around and is very guarded. And
Yeah, he's a little paranoid at this
Yeah.
point, which he
Yeah.
probably is sensible. I mean, the Russian people are just accustomed to this as the kind of government they have. They've had it for the last, 100 years, so it's not going to change. He's just the last of a long list.
Well, leave it to the Yacht Club show to bring Ukraine back into discussion because that was the hot topic the last time we recorded, and it's kind of fallen off everyone's radar because of everything happening in the Middle East. So stay tuned.
Yep.
Well, with that, I think we'll take a quick break and we'll begin our first topic. 3 guys, 0 solutions. The Yacht Club show. All right, I think I will call this segment Hypocrisy in America
Okay.
when it comes to politics.
Not a chance.
Not a
Not
chance?
a chance.
There's no hypocrisy
Are
when
you
it
going
comes
to
to politics?
where are you going to find this? Where are you going to find examples?
A friend of mine sent me a podcast. Derek Thompson, his podcast is called Plain English. And his guest on the show was a journalist who exposed the Hunter Biden Burisma corruption in the Biden family. But now he's taken a much deeper dive into Trump and his family, and his basic analysis or response is that the Trump family corruption makes Hunter Biden corruption, Biden family corruption, is very small potatoes. The numbers as far as money that the Trump family has made is like exponentially higher than anything that happened under Biden's administration. So this just kind of led me to, okay, are we being hypocritical if we support Trump? And then another thing that's happened in the news recently is, for years now, Democrats have accused Trump of being a Nazi. And now you've got this Graham Plattner out of Maine who was an avowed Nazi. I mean, he's got it. And the Democrats as a party are embracing the guy. They're saying it's fine.
I think that's unfair. He just got this tattoo just because he thought it was cool.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
a
you
drunken,
like the design.
Drunken spree. And, it wasn't for 7 or 8 years that he realized that the significance of what he was wearing.
I think Jim's right. You got to cut him some slack here, Killer.
That's right.
Got to cut
Cut
Graham?
Graham some slack. He didn't know
Yeah.
what he was doing.
He didn't know what he
It
was
was a
doing.
young, youthful
Just
mistake.
exactly the kind
Young
of,
and naive.
just the kind of profile you need for a U.S. senator.
You guys are talking like Democrats right now.
Well, okay, you talk about hypocrisy. Just how they support this guy
Right.
is beyond me.
That's
Even
it.
my hero, Ro Khanna from California, he shoots straight. I don't always agree with him politically, but he says what he thinks, and it's well thought out. He went out there and campaiged for him.
Yeah, so-
I said, I don't get it.
So Roe is just
Roe.
as big a hypocrite as anybody. So that's my point. With Trump or with Democrat candidates, how much are you willing to turn a blind eye against corruption, egregious behavior, if that person's policies line up with yours? Is that the right question?
That's too highbrow. I don't even think it's policies. All he is a vote. a Democrat vote. That's all they care about. Is he's a Democrat vote that will vote against anything the Republican wants or anything that Trump wants. And his character or his values be damned. It doesn't matter. They've essentially said, okay, Trump got where he is today by being
Trump.
devoid of any integrity. So what we need is more Democrats without integrity to combat Trump.
Yeah, that's really the choice now.
Yeah.
Which party with lack of integrity do you want to vote for?
has the least amount of integrity.
Yeah.
It's a race to the bottom.
There's no.
It is a race. To the
I don't
bottom.
know if there's any bottom that we haven't. I think we've crashed through the bottom, and
We're into
we're
uncharted
into-
territory.
We're
What
into
you're
a
saying?
void that I don't know where we're headed, but they've essentially given up all this criticism they've had for Trump and everything they've always said about him, and which is all true. All of his just lack of social grace and his insane, ridiculous comments and everything else like that. They've just now said, well, it's okay because we're going to do it.
Yeah,
It's hard
that's what's
to-
happened.
Yeah.
We're going to match him quid pro quo on his nonsense now.
Well, I don't think America accepts it. The bulk of America does not like it, but I think the fringes, on the left and the right, that's how you get. It's how you get elected. That's how you get the primary.
I agree with you there, but I think the bulk of the Republicans have been willing to turn a blind eye on Trump, and maybe we're not fully aware of just the depth of the corruption.
I think we don't care. I
So
honestly think
is that being a hypocrite? That's my
Well,
point. How much are you willing?
Are
to
we
turn a
being
blind
hypocrites? Is what you're asking?
Eye? Yeah.
I don't know we're being hypocrites, but I'm not sure what we can do about it either. I mean, Washington protects itself.
Yeah.
but it can only protect itself if we keep electing them.
Well, I agree with you there, but who in the right mind wants to run?
Well,
For
even if
anything
you
right
wanted
now.
to run, you couldn't get in.
Right.
You couldn't even make it because you can go and give as many speeches you want and talk about integrity and everything else that used to be considered American, and people say, that's nice. I'm not voting for him or her. I'm voting for whoever the most vicious Democrat or Republican is. So you've got primaries going down, electing all these fringe candidates
Right.
with
No, Democrat socialists now.
the point is, there's a lot of this, to me, that's why I don't know if hypocrisy is the rule. It's apathy.
How far are we willing to turn a blind eye? So that's the question. Is like Trump said, I could go out in the street and kill somebody and I'd still get elected?
Yeah.
I mean, how far are we willing to go to turn a blind eye?
I don't know that we've seen the limits yet. I think Trump has certainly been pushing the envelope. I'm trying to separate, in my mind, the things that we wanted done that the Democrats were not doing and that we're glad that he's addressing. So, for instance, control on the border.
Right. Huge issue for every conservative. Yeah.
Right. And
And a lot of Democrats.
and then calling the Europeans on the carpet for not doing anything to defend themselves and just counting on us to spend all the money to keep them alive.
Agree.
And then, the silly wars that we've been in since Korea is just, and they're not just wars Iran is a war, yeah, but Trump had the good sense not to load people on landing craft and send them up against,
And how many American lives have been lost?
there's
Maybe
about
a
12
dozen.
or so.
Yeah. Hard to call a war when you've lost only 12 people.
And-
It's semantics, I guess.
He did some of the things that we did not like that was being done by both parties until he came into office. So we have to recognize that there are reasons people do still support him. First of all, they don't have another option. The Democrats are not giving them another option. That's
what someone reminded me the other day. I go, man, Trump supporters are really turning a blind eye. And then they reminded me, well, remember who our options were at the last presidential.
Right.
That's like, yeah, okay.
Well,
I get it.
And I it still dumbfounds me that nobody looks at why Trump got elected.
Right.
Okay.
The Democrats should be looking at that.
Well, you would think
they've ignored it.
You would think,
Yeah.
but because as we've laid out here, he's not the ideal. What's your 3 criteria for?
Communicating.
Now we're talking about
honesty.
We're talking about Disneyland now.
Okay.
Yeah, now it is.
All right.
It seems so.
We're talking about
science fiction.
character. What was it? Character,
communication skills,
communication skills,
competency.
competency. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about integrity, competency, and character. And on the stage, the political stage right now, there's I can't think of many off the top of my head. And Trump's right there, but he got elected, and there were a lot of. He got 50 million votes or whatever. So why, with all these this downside to him, why would he get elected?
I hear you.
Even that not okay. We can argue Harris. We can argue Harris in the say Harris, but he won the first time too. Okay, why did he win? That's what they. Nobody looks at.
No one looks at that. Yeah.
What is really going on in America?
So in that regard, I guess you're effectively trying to explaining why we can be hypocritical, why we can turn a blind eye, because it's a lesser
of two evils.
Incompetence.
It's a lesser of the lesser of two untenable choices.
Okay, but ever since I've been voting, it's always come down to that, the lesser of evils.
Yes, but it's true. But I don't know.
More so now?
Yeah. Well,
the evils were not as
corrupt,
as evil as the current evils seem to be.
Right.
I mean, this is like your jaw drops when you hear these. People used to pretend they had some of these virtues.
Do you think society, just in general, has given up? I'm
I'm
not talking about the politicians now, but just with social media and everything that's on there, and you can be anonymous, and Dr. Jim's an idiot.
How many people hide behind fake account names now on social media, and they have a picture of somebody that who's an absolute idiot or something. It's all these keyboard warriors that hide behind these false identities that just hate.
I think that's added to it.
Well, they're able to get away with it because we don't have any standards of behavior for people that we hold people accountable for who get these positions of authority in our lives. There's no, I don't want to say religion, but there's no moral.
There's no morals.
No moral standard that says this is a line and you don't cross it.
Let's try to summarize this. Let me summarize it, and you guys can correct me or chime in. Are we hypocritical? Absolutely. What's gotten us to this point? It really boils down to what politician lacking integrity will you vote for because their policy aligns more with what you want to see done in government?
I would say that I think that's too positive. Who is likely to oppose Trump, or if you're a Republican, who's likely to oppose the Democratic Socialists? Or in other words, you're not voting for something, you're voting against things. Yeah. So there's nothing positive. And you hear this all the time. People say the one with the positive message wins. Well, that used to be in the olden days, I guess, because right now it seems to be the guy who is willing to throw mud on everyone, regardless of who gets hit, is the guy you want.
Corruption be damned, right? I mean,
corruption that pays their salary.
Yep.
They don't make enough money as president, so they can't get by on that. So they take a little here and there. They've been doing it forever. So
Dr. Jim's hit on the motivation.
Sum up what he said. What you would. Because there was a point he was making.
The point I think he's making is our focus now is we want to elect somebody, and
we
don't care about his character or his integrity. We're voting for this person because they're the anti-other party.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but
It's you're not voting for, you're voting against, and you don't care. You don't really.
well, okay.
You're not going to put your candidate under the microscope as long as they're against the other party. Did I summarize that?
Yeah, no, you did, but I think the problem, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, is goes back to the primaries, where who participates in the primaries? I mean, it's I always vote, but I mean
I don't always vote.
It's a struggle,
Yeah.
to know all these people, and I think that's where to win a primary, you have to be extreme.
Yeah.
Now, the Tea Party, when they were a factor, you've got the Democratic Socialists now. You've got to be extreme, and that's the fringes come out. They come out on the primaries, but then you're left with not great candidates. And I still say you got to have a hole in your head to want to be in politics right now.
Okay, now where does the hypocrisy come into play there?
I don't think it. Well, I would push back against the hypocrisy as much as the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. I guess that's what the conclusion is. It's the lesser of two evils. I think we've done a pretty good job now of identifying the root cause. But what also enables hypocrisy is the anonymity that we talked about on social media. You can hide behind a moniker or a false identity with a false picture and just become a flamethrower, a political flamethrower, and there's no accountability. No. Another thing I've noticed is, probably mostly because of Trump, you don't get a lot of people admitting to voting for Trump anymore. That's another thing. It's part of that anonymity.
It's like nobody voted for Nixon.
So I'm saying is, yeah, I might be a hypocrite, but you'll never know because I'm hiding behind anonymity.
Well, because you're, if you voted for Trump, you were done as an idiot.
Yeah.
That how could you vote for
or
this
just
guy?
a despicable, awful, uncaring human being.
And it's pushed on you. It's just, I don't care who you voted for. You voted. We all have our reasons.
I'm glad you voted. So let me try to summarize this.
Once again, let's try to.
Yeah. It's like herding cats with you guys, I'm telling you. No, you guys are making some great points. All right. So the topic is the hypocrisy of let's just call it the American voter. How far are you willing to go? How much of a blind eye are you going to turn to elect your candidate of choice? Let me summarize it this way. Why the hypocrisy? How do we justify it now? We're voting for the candidate that's the lesser of evils. We see both parties as corrupt. We don't really view them as people of high integrity anymore. Jim's point was, who can you elect that's the anti-candidate? You're voting against somebody more than voting for somebody. And the other driver here for this hypocrisy is the anonymity now on social media. How you can be a flamethrower and completely hide your identity.
And how that appeals.
Yeah.
Reading.
What's that?
Reading the flamethrower stuff appeals to my inner thinking. I don't like Trump, and this guy says Trump doesn't change his underwear. I'm in on that. And this is, I think you find kindred spirits in that.
Yep.
And exactly. Mike, what sums this up for me is critical thinking is done in America.
Yeah.
We look at one side, and that's it.
Yep.
Well, it's even more fundamental to that. Even if you are a critical thinker, you've got to get the information to think about critically.
Right. And it's not easily found.
It's not easily found. There doesn't seem to be an incentive to provide it. It's almost like a religious crusade for someone who decides that they're going to provide objective or as objective as anything can be information against which people can judge their own ideas and think about their own ideas critically. So that to me is not there. What's interesting to me is in the list you compiled, you talked about, the media, this the
It's there for clicks. It's there for clicks, right?
Right. It's for profit. The for-profit
Right.
incentive to
Yep.
make things as inflammatory as possible, and then you ended it with it's the media, and that you've got all these anonymous trolls on line, social media, just adding fuel to the fire.
Right.
It's not a positive.
A lot of things going against us these days.
It's hard to see how we can get out from under this.
I agree. Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up this segment of the show. I've talked about the Trump corruption, and I don't really mean to harp on it, but it is eye-opening. So check out Plain English with Derek Thompson. It's called The Donald Trump Corruption Scandal Draft. Yeah, Isaac Saul is his guest speaker. I think it was Isaac that uncovered the Biden corruption. So, very interesting. Where certainty goes to have a drink. The Yacht Club Show. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Well, that's the last call for this episode of the Yacht Club Show. Thanks for pulling up a chair and hanging out with us. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. And until next time, take care of yourselves. And trust but verify. From all of us here at the Yacht Club Show, thanks for listening. We'll see you back at the bar. We'll save you a spot.